good and bad. Like we had a very famous alumni who's now off the list, so it's
That's what
making
I'm saying.
They like me a lot more now.
Oh, you're up the pecking order. God bless.
Exactly. I just need Bob Saget to have some bad tweets, and then I'm really going up there.
Oh, he's an alum. Who else you guys got?
Mark Zumoff of the Sixers play-by-play.
Great.
I don't know who else.
Mark Macon.
Who's that?
80s basketball player, late 80s.
We would
had a cup of coffee in the NBA. Don Chaney.
Sure. John Chaney for sure.
Looked like your goddamn mascot. You looked like a fucking owl.
You looked like the owl.
Yeah.
Candy, how are you?
Steve, can you do record on yours, please?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have our intern today.
Candy, you look like the goddamn teacher in the police video for Don't Stand So Close to Me. What the fuck's going on, man?
I'm going to film a skit with Lucy.
This is unbelievable.
We've created a show based on pigeons that live outside of my window called Jerry and Sarah, and we're calling it Cooped Up.
I see what you're doing there. It's a good job, dude.
Jerry, who has 2 flip phones, just out there hustling, and I'm the pregnant wife at home. Like, where are you going all night?
That's pretty good.
It's wonderful.
Are you still doing the documentaries?
No, we ran out.
You ran out.
We ran out of like one that anybody would recognize.
Yeah.
What, you've been watching documentaries?
We did documentary parodies.
Oh, that's fun.
You didn't see any of that?
I haven't seen anything, my love.
Mm-hmm.
I've been slaving to the grind, like your favorite Skid Row album.
That's right.
Yo, I rewatched. Yes, Slappy McGee.
I'm about to get into it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 73, a repeat love of ours and guest, new to our network, Paperhouse Networks. This show is going to be called The Commissioner, about comedy etiquette, things that I adore and adhere to and expect everyone to adhere to. Our friend and favorite, James Mattern.
James Mattern.
Hi, what a treat.
Studio audience.
Also on this network is the New York Comedy Club podcast, which I know you've been a guest on. Is that good?
That was really good.
Comedy Club podcast. Please listen to this ad. Let's get
That's all we needed you for, buddy. Thank you so much for taking the time.
All right, it was good being on the show. Thank you for leaving half the name of the title of the podcast off, Candy. Way to do your research.
Commissioner of Comedy.
Commissioner of Comedy. I'm not just the commissioner. I just can't make rules on speed zones and
Well, at first I thought it
NFL.
was for basketball.
Yes, I mean, what a great podcast that would be if I was just the commissioner of basketball not the actual one, Adam Silver. Great job, Candy.
Buddy, how long have you been in Vegas now?
Buddy, mid-March. I mean, everything feels longer than it does. It feels like a war. It feels like you've been out forever.
So did you go right away? You went right away when shit went down?
I stayed a week. I was going to be one of those, I'm staying and blah, blah. But I had the thought of like, should I go back? And then I woke up on a Thursday with water hitting me in the face. And that wasn't fun because I had a leak in my roof. And then they ghosted me and didn't fix it. Apparently they did fix it. I didn't know it. They just didn't come in my apartment. And then I came home from a long walk on a Friday and I had food coming and I randomly flushed my toilet and it didn't stop flushing. And within minutes, I just text my buddy home like, I'm fucking coming. I'll see you this weekend. I'm done. This is a sign.
Were you living by yourself or in a roommate situation?
By myself, man.
And do you have a lease? Did you break a lease or?
No, man, I'm still there. I'm supposed to mail a check today.
Rent just from there.
Yeah, I throw them. Look, I don't know who's throwing them rent, so I'm a little late this month. Whatever, dog. It's a real survival of the fittest right now.
Yeah. So what's that behind you? It looks like one of those things that turns you upside down.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anyone's ever used it. A torture rack? I don't know. This looks like shit that we wanted to get answers from someone in the 1500s, and we just haven't evolved past using these for exercise.
A lot of those torture methods look divine to me. Like when they stretch you, and then like I feel like your back would pop right into place.
Didn't they
Candy, I was
used to?
just about to say, I bet that you're about to say something favorable about this, and you beat me to the punch. I mean, do I know you a little bit or what? Punk rock kid, goth kid from New Orleans who's holding a puppy to make yourself look more innocent?
Didn't they used to, in some cultures, like stretch your bones, like to make you taller? Like they would put you in a machine and stretch your legs out the bottom?
Yes, I think that's it back in the good old days before science.
Right.
Everything was a lot simpler then.
They made their own growth spurts.
Well,
Yeah, that.
people, they have surgery. Well, they'll go in there and like add bones and make you taller.
What?
Yeah, there's a real surgery that you can get, like a leg surgery, where they add bones into your legs, but then you still have the hands.
No, that's disgusting. What, so you can go play basketball? So I can be the commissioner of them or what?
You can't even hold the ball because you got dwarf hands.
Oh, please act out more on this podcast. Let me see your
do
hands,
this with
miss.
dwarves. Got it. No, you're right. They need to proportionately do that with everything.
Right.
Oh.
That's a lot of coin.
Yeah.
Going there.
That's an investment program.
What is the quarantine like in Vegas?
Yeah, talk to us what's happening right now, because they kind of changed the law there, and your mayor is a little bit nuts.
Well, here's the thing. I've done more PR for this town than their actual PR. So what a wonderful starting off point, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. The mayor of Las Vegas only has control about 30% of the metropolitan area, 30%. The city limits of Vegas are very small. I'm not in them. I've never been able to vote for mayor. Also, it's a glorified city council seat. You're the head of the city council. You have very little power, and you have no power over the Las Vegas Strip, which if Las Vegas was a pimp, the Strip would be the bottom bitch. Let's just be quite honest there. So she does have jurisdiction over Fremont Street and that wonderful nonsense, The Experience, which is just whatever. So
zip line through.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah.
Yes, madness. The governor isn't bulging. She, because of all of this that I said, this is the problem here. So it's basically a figurehead position, and so it makes the community look bad. But because of the lack of power, this is why we had, in the last 3 mayors here in this city, was the woman who did the commercials for a used car dealership because she was married to the guy. She got over on that. The mob mayor and the mob mayor's wife. So I believe she's still going to be in office till 2024. I believe the mascot for the hockey team will probably end up being the goddamn next mayor. That's the quality that we get when there's no power. Right. Is this. So I might stay and run.
Are people there taking it seriously, like the communities?
They absolutely were. When I went for my walks, I've never seen this. People absolutely would go to the other side and then wave to you. They smile and wave, but give you space. It's the opposite. It's the bizarro of New York City.
It really is.
It's unbelievable. Of late in the park, though, I mean, the numbers are pretty good here. There's drum circles and shit. I mean, we're getting up volleyball. People are kind of fudging a little. But there's like the whole state, 5,000 cases.
How close are you to what people consider Vegas?
Oh, man, 10 minutes, 15, yeah. Drive, yeah, nothing.
Are people wearing masks?
There's been a lot of masks. When I've gone to stores, I've seen masks. It sounds like they're getting less.
Mm-hmm. But do you think you're going to be able to perform comedy there sooner than we will be here?
I don't know. I think that in June, they will probably attempt to open up casinos. I don't know.
Casino.
Yeah, so I don't know if the clubs then, I believe in the phases, small shows are included in June. So I don't know if the Rio opens, if the Cellar tries to open smaller. I don't know. Or if Jimmy Kimmel's. So I am monitoring that because I will work wherever I can before.
When was the first time you went to a casino?
Oh, Jesus, man. We used to go to eat. Are you out of your mind?
Right.
My grandfather refused to go out to eat. 3 times a year, we would drive. We'd have to leave like at 3:30 to get there by 5, or just to beat the 5 o'clock. What the hell just happened here? We got to stop the episode now? He's gone. Your co-host just he's on the land.
That's right.
COVID got him in the middle of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon?
We'll continue without him. He just texted us. What did he say? I don't even know.
This is the best. I miss this podcast.
Great. He said, my internet went out. Vamp.
This is hilarious. Leave all this in. Leave all this shit in.
Well, listen, let me ask you this.
Yes, please.
So are you at your mom's now, or were you at your just friends?
Well, I have very little family. My aunt and uncle are like my parents. I finally saw them on Sunday because I'm scared because my aunt's high risk. They're both like 70. I'm staying with my boy and his girl, man. They're very generous.
So you're third wheeling it.
Yeah, man. I just stay up here. I made a makeshift office. I call it the lab. This is where I'm doing all my
You're dropping all your beats.
My beats, my music, MDMD on SoundCloud. Come on, baby. And all this other work. And when I do these shows, and then I just lay in bed. It's great. And then I come down for like 2 hours a night. I eat. We watch the nightly news and we talk shit. And then everyone goes to bed. I feel like I'm part of a 50s sitcom. It's wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I'm whatever Ozzie and Harriet's kid was.
So what are we going to do about you? Are we going to bring you back?
What do you mean we bring, what are you, the fucking, the czar? What are you, Jesus?
I mean, are you
What am I doing, my child? Am I bringing you back? What I don't know. Are you asking if I'm staying in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I have to go back at some point, but
Okay.
if I can make a living out here or LA, I'll probably stay out west. But the minute I get a booking in New York, I head home.
Like
but if it,
for a good club booking.
What's that? That's all I need, yes. If I can make a living, I'll go back. That's where I live. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
But now if there is this scare, man, comedians are more scared of the business going away than everyone else. Can we just be blunt?
100%.
Bunch of chicken littles. We're not coming back till 2042. Have you talked to people not in the bit? The problem is with everyone who stayed in New York who's a comic, all their fucking friends are in the comic industry, comedy industry, so they don't have a perspective of average folk. Hey, if there's like just like 30 people at the show, will you go to a comedy show? Yeah, okay. What about masks? I don't want one. All right. That's what every human being is saying right now.
Yeah.
Every human being wants to live and is smart enough to realize that at some point, we're going to have to live with this because that's what happens in these things. They didn't stay indoors for 2 years in the Spanish flu.
Did you happen to read anything? I saw there was a New York Times article because I'm that person now that I read the New York Times.
Mm-hmm. The glasses and everything that you're dressed as,
I know, right?
screams that to me, yes.
Stop it. There's this woman who predicted the virus. Like she's like a Pulitzer Prize journalist. And she was like, kind of saying what her predictions are now. And so people are all up in arms that, we're going to have to, have a different sort of way of living. And it's like, well, duh, because, she's like, didn't you have to change the way you lived your life after 9/11? Like, what do you expect,
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes, buddy.
we can hear you.
This is so strange. So my internet is out, so I'm calling in. Can you hear me all right? Am I
You're doing a great job.
Yeah,
and I love the graphic.
So
I'm so sorry, guys.
Did you not pay your bills?
No, this is how I find out in the middle of a podcast. No, the electrician here is here because we had our stove and everything go out, so they're fixing stuff in the circuit board, so it cut out the internet.
Well, it's really inconvenient. It is really weird.
Listen, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So what did I miss here? What was James just talking about?
Candy says she's going to move out here and be my campaign manager when I run for mayor in 2024. We would like you to be comp controller.
I would love that. I think I can really keep costs controlled for you. I would be great at that.
See, look at this. It all comes together as a team.
So how long were you in
good
Vegas,
on
James?
YouTube.
That's it. Buddy, we were just discussing how comedians are more scared they'll never be comedy again, and humans are just can't wait to potentially catch something so they don't have to keep fucking reading memes about Tiger King. That's basically what we're discussing.
I know.
Yeah.
When do you think it's back? Do you have any guess about what month it comes back?
I bet there's some red states that are starting this week. I mean, Oklahoma.
No, not comedy. Not comedy, though.
What's that?
Not comedy, though.
I believe I know there's agents who are already reaching out for people for road gigs in these states. That's happening. I believe.
Wow.
I know Oklahoma is trying to get live events. I think Missouri's going to have concerts. I mean, the problem is
that they're all going to be dead.
We're going a little early. Now, a lot of these states don't have many cases. I got in a huge fight with someone last week about this because I think we should probably wait a month and then just see where it is and really make this 6 weeks accounted for something. And then this idiot's like, oh my God, everyone's going to die. I'm like, I was trying to explain to this guy, Montana has like 8 cases. So it's hard to justify a place that's spread out like Montana with barely any cases to stay because of New York. It's crazy. But I do feel a lot of these states, their numbers weren't fully maintained. It's kind of like all it took was 2 good days of the news, and now everyone's losing it. It's like conversation really picked up around the salad and the appetizer and the second glass of wine to the point where the guy's whipping his dick out before the entree. It's like, put it back in your goddamn pants, everybody. Jesus Christ, start with some kisses. After dessert, stupid.
We're getting it anally.
Yeah, it is anal. My love, what a treat.
I try to get anal in every podcast and wherever I go, really, and it's been a while.
My love, well, that's loaded. My love, I love that you are dressed now like you read the Times, but you're everything else about you is still the New York Post, and it's just good. It's still wonderful.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're still funny, because
Yeah, well, no, I'm yeah, well, fuck.
We were
you're staying sharp.
While you were, whatever you're doing over there in Queens. God bless.
I live in Brooklyn. Stephen in Queens. Sorry.
Yeah. We were talking about DJ Maddog Mattern.
Oh yeah, what a hilarious thing.
MD dropping beats. I think I have a Zoom show happening tomorrow night. I think I'm gonna play some of them.
Please, my love. I'm very honored. This is my new career.
Also, we're gonna have all the links for all of that stuff within here. We want to talk to you a little bit about, first of all, the Commissioner of Comedy.
Yes.
That came out of, and I know you had written like an article or a Facebook post, same thing, really, talking about the etiquette of hosts and all kind of a list of do's and don'ts, which got extremely popular because it's one of those things that like you think that people should know, comedians should know, but they don't somehow. And me being in the position that I'm in, it was wonderful to see that. And then it was also wonderful to see that other comedians were sharing that and respecting that. And I actually did witness personally a shift in the way people approached getting on and off of a stage in a comedy club situation. So that was great. So now I feel like, would you say, James, that is the thing that has led you into wanting to put this podcast together, or a catalyst?
Yeah, man. Like, so I did this article like 4 years ago, and it's the closest. I put out the article with the interrobang about hosting, like the do's and don'ts, and that went quasi-viral. It's the closest thing I've ever had to it, and I still get people reaching out to me now, which is cool, and all over the places. And then I posted something because I was sick of seeing, like a few months ago on Facebook, I posted young comics just, thank you, good night, and just zooming the fuck off and already being at Shake Shack ordering shit. It's like, what do we do? You don't get it. And I see a lot of bad traits in general. And I also do them. And I say this in the pod and all that. Like, I'm still learning. It's all practice. And I want a dialogue. I hope people call me out on my own shit and we can have a discussion through it. And we'll do that. But, like, I'm seeing these things. A lot of it being developed like in bars. The bar shows are great because it gives people stage time, but then they govern themselves and create, and then they don't really know how to interact once they get to the clubs. And things do change, and you should adapt. And so I saw that, and a couple of people reached out to me. And then there's another thing because I saw people when the whole Ari thing was going on and people were rooting for comedy clubs to get shut down.
Yeah, I remember you texted me that day. I didn't know that was even happening until you sent it to me.
I was furious because I saw comedians siding. Look, there's no reason not to be.
Our non-comedian listeners, what happened is the unfortunate death of Kobe Bryant.
Horrible.
There is a particular comedian that has lots of a big popular fan base, but it's a very particular fan base. And one of his little things has been to make fun of a celebrity death. He obviously does not mean any ill will. And he made a terrible, poor taste joke about the Kobe thing. And also at the time, He didn't know all the details, didn't know his daughter was also involved or other families and children were involved in the crash. And it went viral and it was a big giant mess. So for instance, he was scheduled to perform at even New York Comedy Club and it was on the website, and then the Cubs were getting death threats and had to shut down. And there are people that are considered to be comedy bloggers? I don't even know what we would call them, or what are they? Social justice Twitter comedians?
Writers? Reporters?
I guess we'll put that in quotes.
Yeah.
And, so they all helped fuel this fire of tearing down, but they were pro threats. Well, I mean, so was the one that you saw too. I mean, it wasn't just these people. There were
comedians as well,
yeah.
And that upsets me because we're supposed to look. Everyone shits on us, and another thing, the reason this podcast is
Right.
that we get shit on by everyone else. So we need to govern ourselves, but we also have to protect ourselves. So this goes back. There's a quote Andrew Schultz said during last year's big kerfuffle when Dina Hashem got thrown off or got in trouble for a joke on Comedy Central that a fellow comic threw her under the bus and she was getting death threats and that. And it was horrible that another comic did that to another comic. And
but that's
Schultz was the best.
The trend that I've been seeing.
Yes.
This weird, Jets versus Sharks.
It's ridiculous. But the quote is, ape don't kill ape. And so that is a code to live by. Now there's some exceptions to that. But yeah, so I posted on that. And it felt good. And one of my dear friends back he's in LA, Grant Gordon, was like, dude, you should do something. It's time. You should podcast, write. So you want to be a New York comedian, something like that. And I go, well, I've always joked in the green room about being the commissioner and what I would do if I ran.
Yeah.
It's just kind of stupid. Steve has heard this too many times.
Oh, well, I love it. It was great.
And then, so now we're going to do it. And we're going to do it before the pandemic. And then the pandemic happens and I need something creatively. But then I'm also like, fuck, man, is comedy even going to exist? But then it's like, cool. This will be a time capsule to what comedy was. Of course, it's going to morph and change. The also working second title is I used to do comedy, I think is or I used to be a comedian. So this is good. We can keep our chops up and get ready when we do come back. And it's good to keep thinking about it and miss it. And it's okay to miss it. And we can discuss it while missing it. And this will remind people of the green room and of the things we discuss and how we carry our business in doing this.
I have my theories, but I would like to get your input on this, which is what kind of direction do you think comedy will take? Meaning, okay, observational comedians. Is there going to be a shift in actually what you can and cannot say on stage, or what's going to be demanded from comedy?
Like, I can't imagine the first week to a month that you will be able to do an act that doesn't bring up quarantine or anything like that. And then maybe a month after, people will get sick of it and want something else. But I just can't imagine going back, grabbing the mic and go, yo, I got this computer and man, I was at the beach. Like, no, we've all been living a different way. Everyone is changed. And so it would be absolutely foolish to do I don't know. I can't tell anyone how to do stuff. Everyone's going to be rusty. I don't know if anyone's going to do any of their old material. It just doesn't seem like it's going to make sense. That it seems like, this is for a lack of, I don't want to be blasphemous, but this is almost like an AD and BC situation. I feel like everything in show business is totally before the pandemic and after.
The before time. That's what Amy Hawthorne likes to call it.
Oh, what a wonderful.
Here's my take on it.
Please, my love.
Looking at it from a different angle is I think it's going to be more escapism. Audiences are going to not want to go in, and they're not going to want to hear about the coronavirus. They're not going to want to hear about COVID. When we get to the point where people are actually going out and going to bars and to shows, they want to escape because we've all been through this trauma together. I think, like, as far as jokes go, it's going to be way higher stakes. So let's say if you start a joke here, now you're going to have to start your premise at a much higher stake. And I think that it's going to be one of those interesting times where, and I don't know if you've found that at all, that when you're watching a show now or a movie, I feel like it's one of those things where I have to keep going back and reading the same page over and over again. It's almost like quarantine brain doesn't allow, like there's certain elements of my brain where it goes to like figuring things out, branding.
We're back.
That it's almost like I need like the clowns and the jugglers and like the silliness. Like I feel like the silliness is going to be, I feel like it's going to be really silly.
I'm probably going to beg to differ. I think that the consciousness, I think there'll be aspects of it. And like I said, I think after a few weeks or a month, if your whole act was about the quarantine, people will be sick of it, especially once they go forward. But definitely the first few weeks, you're, I think, an absolute fool if you don't express these things we've been sharing, this isolation, and then how good it is to be out of it. And it also, because the world changes and we're going to be facing this for a while, once again, you'll be living in a bubble to not address it somehow. You'll be pretending, oh, so everything isn't fine. We still are going to have to deal with this. I don't know, man. You think about like what was comedy after, the Depression, after Prohibition and the Spanish flu. Things got more decadent. That definitely happened. Or you look at the cabaret scene in Germany. Let's look at that.
I do. I feel like now is the time to take risks with your writing and with.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
James, do you remember a few of the do's or don'ts from that article you wrote that stand out and that you remember pretty well?
Well, and I've been rehashing because the first two episodes are basically that article expanded 4 years later into a podcast. Yeah, man. The big key is selflessness. It isn't about you as the host. It is about everyone else. You have to create for them. That's it. You have to check your ego, and you're going to hear this quite a bit at the end of a show. Man, that was great. You're funny. Have you ever thought about doing comedy? Great. You're going to hear that. You're going to hear you're a good host should you do comedy. Like all the things that got laughs was not comedy. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, did you think I was like juggling kittens? What did you fucking think I was doing?
By the way.
Was I swallowing swords? See, that goes back to what you're saying, Candy. We're going to go back to the old vaudeville on steroids.
Yeah.
But it's hard to swallow that. And so, people don't want to be hosts because you want to be a comic and this is tennis, this is golf. But when you're the host, you're playing a team sport. You are part of a team. Well, and you have to check your shit.
And you can tell a bad host when the host goes up, they perform, if the crowd doesn't like them, and then they like everybody else, a bad host will keep trying to eat time in the middle of the acts, which ruins the momentum. And like, it's a very easy tell for like an insecure host.
Yeah, if everyone else is doing good, but you didn't up front, it's okay. You still did your job. Either that or everyone else is just great, which could be a case. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a window, but I always take it if I'm not connecting, but everyone else is, I did something correct still because they're ready for everyone else. And even, and I always said this, now you shouldn't try to be a heel and a bad guy up there, but there is times that they don't connect with you enough.
You got to be the heavy.
Well, no, yeah, but then they love everyone else, and that's fine. Now, you don't want to play that up to the point where you sacrifice the show, but that disconnect helped create a connect with everyone else, so you still accomplished the job. Of course, you would rather they love you and everyone, and your jokes work and that, but it's okay. The job is everyone else to succeed and to be put in the best light for their performance.
Right. I mean, a lot of times when the host goes up, they're off the street, so they haven't seen anybody yet. Like it's your job. So then right after you, that the show can be ready. So it's all for the betterment of the show.
Yeah, and I discussed this in the first episode. Is shows used to be delayed, and they used to wait, or they sometimes open a showroom 30 minutes before, tell people to get there early. That's gone now. So you can't get affected by the fact that orders are being taken, people are getting sad. It's never going to be ideal ever again because it's a tight schedule and we need to get going. You're your jokes are designed, your material to not get laughs now. It's a tough thing. So you have to not take it personal and keep fighting and find ways to condition them. So when you get done, that first act, 15, 20 minutes, 10, whatever goes up, they're ready for comedy then. Even if they still are waiting on a drink or still taking an order, you're doing all the heavy lifting so everyone else doesn't see that shit.
But do you think this whole thing then with being a host, I mean, you didn't really glamorize it just now.
Well, no, sure,
this
but
makes you a better comedian. So what does this do?
makes you a better comic.
Okay.
I've made a steady living hosting without major credits. I've done some things, but like I don't have like a major late night. I've done stand up on an app, and I've done stand up on a cable sports show. Okay, which got me death threats from baseball fans on the internet, which I didn't know they knew how to work the internet. So, but everything else, I've been able to work. It got me to work regular nights. It got me to work weekends. It got me to make a living where I didn't need a job anymore.
Well, and then that kind of brings us into the next thing, which Gabrielle kind of was asking about. You're hosting television shows.
Your warm up, yeah.
Yeah. Which obviously,
yeah, led me to warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you can make some decent money at. It's a journey. So, man, it's a goddamn journey, this business. I've always told people this, man. You might not just be a stand-up after doing it, but if you do this and you give yourself to this business for a while, it'll lead you to where you're supposed to go. Sometimes it's writing. Sometimes it's producing either shows or in television or movie. You don't know. Could be warm-up. You could go back into being a lawyer, lawyering, great English for me, a journalism major. But you'll be a different and more effective lawyer because of it. What's that, my love?
I said he's not the commissioner of the English language.
I am not. Believe me, that is fair.
So how different are hosting stand-up shows at clubs in New York and doing warm-up for TV shows? Like, how different is that muscle?
Yeah, it can be very different at times. Sometimes you are just a cheerleader, and those jobs can be not fun. I'll be blunt. And if it costs me work, I don't care. It's fun. There's no work right now. What's that?
I've been to a few of those shows. Well, I think we've all have, but it's exhausting to watch the warm. I can just feel bad.
It really can. A lot of times those cheerleading gigs are for newer shows that don't have a fan base, and that is paid audiences. They're all actors. God. They hand you their card. They don't want to laugh because there is a cheesiness to the warm-up. So they don't want to laugh. They're just there for the show and to get paid and to get a meal. And Steve's gone again, but he's here in our hearts. But so it's really tough. And that's why a lot of times, like in LA, they just, what up, bitches? And throw candy and shirts. I'm not used to that. My jobs in the past have always been jokes, and I still want to be a comic. That's still what it is. So
has anyone given you the power of a t-shirt gun yet?
Yeah, I didn't. There was a job and I forgot to use it, and then I never got asked back for that job. I never got asked back.
Why?
I don't know, and I think they've eliminated that position finally. They've ran through some great comics at that job, and I just wonder if, yo man, did everyone just not want to shoot the shirt gun? I did a job in LA a year ago where I threw shirts though, and people, these idiots who are actors, quote unquote, were running towards the shirts like it's The Walking Dead, like meat was being thrown to the herd. It was insane.
Dude, well, it's like at NBA games. People love the T-shirt gun. They go, it's like a triple XL shirt that says Blue Cross on it. Like, who cares? But it's people insane. Love these T-shirts.
Yeah, yeah. People want something free that won't even fit them.
Yeah, that's really all they care about.
It's hilarious.
Let's get into some more fun stuff.
Yes, more fun stuff.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's still pending. No, I got arrested in Salt Lake City, Utah for underage drinking, and there was a warrant for my arrest that came December 23rd, and my grandma found it and was fucking furious as I was tuning my bass to go play in my band at night. And my mom got hooked up with someone who represented me in Salt Lake, and that guy didn't show up. And so there was a warrant for my arrest. So thanks, Mom.
So you got off because the cop didn't show up, right?
No. My lawyer did not show up to represent me, and that's why they issued a warrant. My mom worked at a downtown restaurant that was next to the courthouse where this legendary maniac lawyer who was in Ocean's 11. He's actually played himself, Bucky Buchanan. He almost ruins everything for Saul, Carl Reiner. And that is the guy who's like, I got a guy. Don't worry about it, Joanne. And this dude, Savage, I think is his last name, fucking doesn't show. And I'm like tuning. I'm getting ready to pack my bass and go have a horrible music show. And my grandma with a German accent, what is this shit? Oh, Mom, remember I told you I got a ticket? I told her I got a ticket for not putting my seatbelt on. And she's like, they don't give you warrants for that shit. Like, oh, underage drinking.
An accent?
What's that? Those are actually German, dog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, aren't you doing some music now?
I'm doing music, baby.
MDMD.
MDMD.
That, Steve, while you were just danging around your apartment in there.
Whoa.
Yep, got it.
Danging around.
I'll have to listen to this one. Have you guys been cooking much during the quarantine?
Not me, but they cook here, and it's very wonderful to get warm meals.
Do you think they're going to get sick of you in there? I don't know if you were here when you heard. Did you hear their living situations?
I did not.
He's living like with a couple.
Who is the couple?
It's one of my boys. You've heard the name Franny a million times from me.
Sure.
Legend.
Yeah.
Him and his lady.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I'm trying to stay out of their hair as much as possible.
But do you have to pay them, or are they just on the brunch?
Yeah, I think I keep offering. I throw them for some groceries and that. I think at the end there's supposed to be a tab. Who knows? I will give them whatever. I really appreciate that.
Well, good. That's a good situation. Candy, have you been cooking? Nothing?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't have a working oven. I have a toaster oven, which I have made bowls of brownies in because I only have one pan and I have one pot without a handle. I'm a mom.
Yeah. How are you feeding your kid?
She helps herself to yogurts and applesauces and stuff.
Just yogurts and applesauces, 3 meals a day during her quarantine and shit.
She gets fed, and then also,
Oh, that's good.
She's eating.
Well, you sound like my mom now. I'm really worried.
I order takeout, so we have one big meal that I'll order through takeout, and we'll snack on that throughout the day.
Do you take the food out of the bullshit and put it in the microwave just to play it safe?
No, what are you talking about?
The goddamn COVID, Candy.
So what we've been doing is if
I thought you meant to make it look like I cooked it myself.
Yeah, fake it. Yeah, because your kid isn't old
like
enough or
Mrs.
smart enough
Doubtfire.
to realize that. Yes.
Yeah. No, what we've been doing, we get delivery once a week, and we will like Clorox or Lysol all the stuff it comes in.
Yes.
And then take it out and put it on plates.
No,
Smart,
I
Bubba.
put the stuff in the hallway, and I'll leave it there for about 10 minutes, and I'll go.
So you think the 10 minutes, just the COVID just jumps the fuck off and finds a dog?
So it works. I wear my mask. I wear gloves when I go into stores. I wash my hands constantly. Lucy doesn't touch any door handles or anything.
Good. That means she can't leave the house, but all right. Yeah, that's the right move anyway. So good.
Well, obviously she can leave the house, but just not on her own.
So she jumps out the window.
Right.
Yeah.
Just no doors.
That's right.
Just breaks
Guys,
through that shit.
In what profession do you think people are happiest?
In general or now?
In general.
Because I was going to say now, incels.
Yeah, right.
No. That call I had last week that ended bad.
Wait, what happened?
I told a guy to go fuck himself and I hung up on him. I haven't done that since I was like 10.
Who?
But what was the call? Was that your dad?
Yeah, my real dad. My biological. You son of a bitch, I'm hanging up on you. No, it's just, someone opened it by like, oh man, I'm really happy right now. Aren't you? I found that very offensive. Like, yo, everyone's miserable right now.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right, you have to give us the context of this conversation, though.
It's someone. So this will be another thing. I'm going to leave it
having
nameless.
a conversation with someone you know.
Another issue I have, and this will probably be an episode, and this falls into the 8 don't kill 8. I have noticed some comedians posting on social media and kind of sounding happy about spreading doom and gloom about comedy and judging people and being like, you guys think this is going to happen. You're going to find a new world. And how do I use the wording and not give away who it was? These kingdoms that you live in and such are going to be gone. I find that offensive as someone who makes a living doing this, and it's our life. And
it sounds like somebody who can't get into clubs. Yeah.
Right.
It's someone, yes. And so I find that offensive, and I have made jokes and posts that a bunch of us are taking note of who is that, You're not really one of us. And when shows come back, we are going to ice you out like Isaiah Thomas in the 1990s. So if you're not watching the Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan documentary, the 10-part series, Last Dance, basically Isaiah Thomas is one of the greatest basketball players of all time and did not make the 92 Olympic Dream Team because Jordan, Magic, Bird, Pippen, I think Malone, at least 6 or 7 people said they would not play on that team unofficially. A lot of them deny that now, but it's pretty much been written as fact. And we'll remember it. I've told people I won't work with these people. I've named a couple to people. I'm not a rat, but I'm like, look, I won't bring these people up, man.
But anybody saying that stuff is not somebody you're going to really have to work with anyway.
You were just saying that you had a conversation with someone where you said, go fuck yourself, and got off the phone. Who was it?
Wait, yeah, I'm not going to fall for that. Just because you're dressed like a principal in an early 90s USA movie right now, where you end up sleeping with one of the goddamn students and killing someone.
Don't say the name, but just say a name that the name rhymes with, and that'll be fine.
It rhymes with nobody in particular. That's it.
Oh my God.
Also, Candy, I would watch that movie. I think, or at least it's an episode of Stalkings. That's an old reference.
I used to watch it every Friday with my mom.
Candy, I think I know you a little too well. Time's on the outside, posts on the inside.
Okay, so nobody's happy. So we were just saying you were having a conversation about someone saying that they're feeling happy right now, and you said no one's feeling happy.
Well, no, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to find peace. But the way it was phrased was, aren't you having fun? And I found that there's so much uncertainty, and what has completed people is life, is work, is interaction with people, single people going out and taking a chance and meeting someone. This is how people live. People who have kids, they can't do the things that they do with their kids as much. Everyone's life is upside down. But if you're an incel, this is great, because what made your life not good is people telling you to get a job, to go out, to interact, to face the world. You don't have to now. You can play video games. You can read. You can jerk off 37 times and not feel guilty about meeting someone. Well, you can't meet no one. Let's go back to Pornhub again.
Does anybody know a real incel? Or are they like this imaginary people like Scientologists?
Well, if it was imaginary, then that phone call, then I really feel like I was in Fight Club. We'll leave it like that. So I don't think so.
Was that person in what you would consider an
incel? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between being grateful.
Well, I feel like, what does incel mean then? Because my understanding of it was someone that can't get women, so hates women.
And thinks they're like entitled to sleep with women, but no women want to sleep with them. That's how I understand it, I think.
Yeah, I just look at it as someone who stays at home, super nerd, kind of displaced from society. This kid could be or couldn't be, but he kind of fits. But it's one of those things where I try to explain, look, this is no way to live. That's good, you're happy, but stop. You're rubbing everyone else's nose and shit. It's kind of like the old.
An investor in Zoom right now, that's a pretty happy place to be.
They're crushing. Yes, they're doing. What a great job.
What a jump that business took.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, huh?
Was it even around before coronavirus? I'd never heard of it.
They created the coronavirus.
That's what I think.
Yeah, Zoom was in that Chinese laboratory. Let's go, conspiracy theory. Zoom gave bats out to everyone in China.
John Zoom ate that bat.
John Zoom.
I think.
Hilarious.
I love a John Zoom.
What do you got, Canned?
What a singing voice.
Right? Thank you so much.
You might have to sing over my music. Yes.
Right, let's do it. MDCC.
MDCC. Yes, wonderful.
Would you rather every t-shirt you ever wear be kind of itchy, or only be able to use one-ply toilet paper?
Man, it's been a while since I've done this show, and I forgot these wonderful questions.
Yeah.
They did not teach me this at journalism school down the street at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Not yet.
Yeah, well, when I go back, times are tough all over.
Yeah, really are.
That's a tough call. I
would rub my ass in someone's yard or on concrete before wearing a scratchy t-shirt.
The thing, yeah, every T-shirt being scratchy is real. You just have to
Bad.
double and double up on the one ply.
I know.
I think we have our answer there, everybody.
Do you agree, James? Do we have consensus here?
I absolutely concur. I think
Okay.
if we ran the world, there'd be no wars.
Even talking about it, I'm starting to itch.
Yeah, it's not
I
good.
itch a lot.
Okay.
James and Candy, if you had to become an animal, I watched The Lobster recently. Have you guys seen that movie?
I need to see it.
It's good. It's good. It's fucked up, but it's good. If you had to become an animal, what animal would you become?
So someone becomes an actual lobster in the movie The
The
Lobster?
premise of the movie is that it's in some like dystopian future where you have to find a mate, like you have to find someone to be with romantically, or you get turned into an animal and you choose which animal.
That seems, I would be an otter then.
Ooh,
Why an otter?
I feel like they just are chill.
they are chill, I think.
They sleep on their backs floating in water? Like, isn't that the dream?
Yeah, they're also the great comedic foil on those SeaWorld shows, which I know everyone hates, but they're always 20 minutes in, an otter just comes in and just steals the scenes, like blip, 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 and grabs a fish and smacks the dummy human in the face.
Yeah. What about you, James?
Fucking, you know this answer, dog. I'll be an orca, because that's what I is. That is who I am. I am a black fish. That's all I am.
All right. I love that.
Free Willy, bitch!
Yeah, I've seen Blackfish 100 times, and it's depressing, but I love orcas so much, and it's the best film that actually has orcas, so I run it back. I've watched it twice in quarantine.
If that's how you went out, by being attacked by an orca?
First of all, they don't kill anyone in the wildlife, so there's no chance of dying. They only kill people at SeaWorld, and that's gone. They're done doing that, so that premise, not valid. So you are no longer a tenured professor.
I don't even know what that means.
What a treat you are.
I have a Louisiana education. Go fuck yourself.
You think it's better than Nevada? Jesus Christ.
Nothing is worse.
I used to have a joke that Nevada was, what did I used to say? That we were 51st in education in states behind Arkansas.
Is that
and
true?
then people are like, there's only 50 states. I go, exactly.
That's cute. I see what you did there. Steve, animal?
Dog. Next.
You just gonna sleep on dog that quick? You just pass on it?
That's what I want to be, man. Dogs are great. Did you grow up with pets?
Oh, I had several, yeah.
What kind?
Well, I had dogs. We had poodles named Gigi and Tippy.
Mm-hmm.
Tippy ran away, broke my heart. And we had a really
Everything's
soft.
so sad.
It's sad. And we had a sissy Doberman named Hans.
Big buddy, big boy.
Yeah, just with beta, just very beta Doberman.
Really?
I've lived with 2 beta Dobermans in my life. One was Hans and one was Fonz. So if you're going to name your Doberman with an Hans, they're going to be bitch asses.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's just what it is, dude.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
What's the worst movie that you love?
Oh, that's a fun question. I was just thinking about this too the other day. I have a list of there's 3 movies that I can't tell if they're good bad movies or bad good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So New Jack City, I love, but even rewatching it last time, I'm like, this kind of sucks. I'm never watching it again. And then the last 20 minutes, I'm like, yeah, let's run it back. Carlito's Way is kind of not good, but fun.
Win an award, or did he win an award for that?
Who?
Or a gold?
Chino?
Yeah.
Not a chance. Yeah, he won the reward. He won the reward for worst Puerto Rican accent and the same character the last 3 movies and the next 50. All due respect. And then Less Than Zero isn't really a great movie, but I've watched it 100 times.
I'm 100% on that. If that's ever on, I'm gonna watch it.
But it's not great.
It makes me want to be in 80s Los Angeles, strung out on drugs.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a really
great.
good job of selling that. Steve, have you seen that movie, or do you have any idea what?
No, have not seen Less Than Zero. I've seen the other 2.
It's a classic Downey Jr. And fun fact, he was his most sober during the filming of that. In which
really? I was gonna ask, was it pre-sobriety, Downey Jr.?
Way pre.
Wow.
This is 86, 87 it filmed.
It's a
great soundtrack.
Is it Jamie Lee Gertz?
Jamie Gertz is still, I got asked on MSG 2-3 years ago on a show, and I had just rewatched Less Than Zero, and of all the celebrities, they're like, who's just, I go, Jamie Gertz, who's now just like an owner of the Atlanta Hawks. She's like, who? And I'm like, she's still a gothic princess to me. Yes, I am. Her and Lost Boys, and that is just the pale glow, if that makes sense, that she has. Mwah.
What about Elizabeth Shue leaving Las Vegas?
I don't like that movie. I
Ooh.
can't get into it. I'm not
It's
a
very
huge.
sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. I'm not a huge Nick Cage fan.
Mhm.
He seems like I'd like him in life, but his acting isn't my cup of tea. I don't like that prickly pear scene. It's the prickly pear. I can't. I fucking can't, dog. I can't. And he beat Sean Penn for the Oscar that year, so I'm out.
Yeah. Candy, what do you got?
Well, I mean, Less Than Zero. I mean, that's pretty much right up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I have to lean in on Unfaithful.
Oh, yeah.
Big
excellent.
Diana. It's not
Oh,
a
yeah.
movie, but I'm a big Diane Lane fan.
Diane Lane kills it. She's great.
I mean, I would bring her home and I would do really things.
Mm.
And
Candy, may I ask a question, even though I'm the guest? Why did you have to lean in for Unfaithful?
because it's like cancer.
What?
Like when you say cancer, you can't not lean in and whisper that.
Exactly the same. Those two.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you started dating Richard Gere during quarantine. You didn't want to bring up
That's the
that
thing.
memory.
I don't like him.
Didn't he put a gerbil up his asshole?
No,
That's
I
the
feel like
rumor.
that's the rumor, and God bless. But that's the thing. I used to love that movie. I don't know why. I guess it's like one of those,
Yeah.
things. But I watched it recently, and I didn't like it.
You know,
Maybe it's a nostalgia
It's
thing.
like the intensity of it wasn't intense enough considering our situation. Like I need, even like when I'm watching things now, I'm watching old like Sammy Davis Jr. things or like 60s London stuff, The Odd Couple, like all these
Love The Odd Couple.
sort of deliberate performy things. If it's coming to watch something that I have to like think about or figure out, I can't get into it anymore. And that's usually my favorite thing. Any kind of foreign crime drama, I'm like all in.
Yeah.
I can't do it now.
wow, this all has come this full circle with your comments earlier. Like I just want people spinning plates, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. It's like I don't want anything about what's really going on. I just want someone to go out there and sing Mr. Bojangles. You're not wrong.
Steve, what is yours then?
A lot of the Adam Sandler catalog that I enjoy. Click.
Sure.
Loved Click. You guys see that?
I didn't.
It's great. It made my buddy cry. It's a very I love a sappy Sandler.
It
When
has an
into it,
emotional friend base.
What'd you say?
Did you have an emotional friend base?
Very much so. Very much so.
Yo, Happy Gilmore's fun. I'd watch that right now.
Great. Great watch.
Little Nicky.
The most recent one where he says the F word about 4,000 million times. Lucy, shut up.
You talking about Uncut Gems?
Yeah.
Uncut Gems is outstanding.
Outstanding.
Candy, do I gotta go back to Jersey City? Do I have to take custody of your fucking kid? She eats, whatever, fucking yogurt. Shut up! But you whisper the word unfaithful.
Lucy's like, I haven't been out since March 13th.
But at least I don't know about infidelity. I mean, okay.
Well, I'm going through a lot.
My love, you are. I mean, we all are.
She told me I was a right, Lucy? She said I was a different kind of mom.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't ask any more questions on that one.
yeah, I would.
I asked her if she felt safe, and she said yes. Right, Lucy?
That's what everyone says to their oppressors.
Yo, what if you go, right, Lucy? And she's like, fuck off, Mom.
Hey,
Fuck you, I won't do it, what you told me, Mom. She starts quoting Rage lyrics.
Rage.
That's it.
What's your biggest guilty pleasure?
Oh, man. That's a fun one. God, I mean, probably some music like that wasn't viewed as cool. I'm trying to think what here. Do you mind if I pull out my playlist? Let me see what I've listened to. I'm sure I've texted someone something that is not dope.
Everything you listen to is dope.
Well, that's very kind, my love. But, you know what, dude? Yeah, people will judge me. I'll listen to some 80s, like, just cornball pop and feel good about. Whitney Houston gets judged. I think she's a great singer. But when you're, like, come from, like, a punk metal background that's viewed as weak, guess what? Grow up, everybody. It's wonderful. All right? And also, some poppy. Boston is great. That first record, great record. Sounds wonderful. There's some good Journey. I like some of this cheesy shit, man. I can get into it in a heartbeat. Lady Gaga's great. Some people judge her. She's wonderful. There's some catchy Katy Perry's. I kind of like Billie Eilish right now, and I know everyone thinks she's great, but it's hard to be a 42-year-old man and relate. But I know she's speaking to everyone, and she's probably the equivalent to what Nirvana was for me. But it's hard for me to walk around and go, so you're a tough guy. It doesn't look right. So I have to keep that quiet, but it's good.
Candy?
Oh, me? I like to eat fast food in the bathtub. I don't feel guilty about it, though. I don't feel guilty about it.
Bathtub
but you think society would judge you?
Yeah, I think more on the fast food part of it. Like,
In the bathtub? Sure.
It's like you can have all these people with differentiating opinions on things, but if you say, I'm drinking dairy, then there's like these anti-dairy people that seem to, I don't know where they come from, like the Smurfs, and they come out and they're going to tear everyone apart. So it's
Dairy
like,
police.
Yeah, the dairy police. It's like incels.
You just want to drink a whole milk milkshake in your bathtub, like alone.
Yes. I also am lactose intolerant. That's a big fucking recipe for disaster.
Good thing you're in the bathroom already. That's.
I'm glad you take chances.
I am a risk taker.
Yeah, sometimes you got to shoot the dice. I mean, if we're going to go with that, I haven't done this yet since I've been back, but man, I like to go at one point, I'm going to get an ultimate cheeseburger and large curly fry from Jack in the Box and then hate myself for 3 days. And it's going to be the greatest hate myself ever.
You deserve it.
I love it. I love it so much.
What about you, Steve?
Reality TV, probably. Like bad reality shows.
Like what?
What do you want? The Netflix did Love Is Blind, and there was a new one where they weren't allowed to fuck each other.
Oh, hot topic.
Too hot to handle.
All right.
Obviously, Catfish. I love.
Wow.
Catfish is great. Yeah.
I learned how from that thing. My friend got catfished. And
my goodness.
I learned tricks of the trade from that show and was able to go in like reverse image. Have you done that yet?
No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So did he or she break up with them?
Google search and you go into images.
Yeah.
A little thing in the search bar, there will be a camera and you can drag and drop a picture in and then it will bring up results based on that picture. It finds who that person is. If you put your own picture in, I promise it will bring you up.
Wow.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
That freaks me out a little, to be quite blunt.
Honestly, if anybody out there feels like they're getting catfished, send your stuff to Steve and I. Let us get to the bottom.
100%. We'd love to just take those guys' jobs.
Oh my God, what a great.
If we could have that show and the Great British Bake Off.
Done.
Oh.
That would be the rest of, that would be the happiest position.
That's the happiest profession, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all Steve and I want from life.
It is.
You can have
I'm rooting for that, for you guys. I want you guys to have that life.
James, thank you so much for joining us. I want to get this out, though. When do you and Nathan do your Settle Something?
Oh, that's very nice. Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, 2:30 Hawaii, 666 in hell.
On either of your social media?
Yeah, it's on Instagram Live. I go onto his page, but I believe it'll show you if you follow me and not him, which is crazy. You should follow us both. It'll say that I'm on with him. So just jump on. It's we've done 5 episodes. It's fun. It's a good time. We argue.
And this one comes out tomorrow, so the Year of Comedy premieres May 12th, correct?
Yes, my love. Thank you.
May 12th. And Candy, you have a show tomorrow.
I do. So if you guys are listening to this and you're anywhere in the world, you can actually watch a comedy show that I produced here in New York City, but now you can watch it from the comfort of your home. I know like all my sisters will be there. Medium Famous. We're doing conspiracy theories. And you can get tickets for that on NewYorkComedyClub.com, and the money goes to the comedians on the show as well as our beloved staff. Steve will also be on there.
I'll join in there. I'll say a little some kind words.
This is wonderful.
James,
great,
I love you,
people
buddy.
like in Alaska can see it.
Thank you for doing this. I love you. I hope you're well, and I can't wait to talk some shit with you at the bar soon.
Yeah, in 2025 when I'm back.
That's right.
As mayor of Las Vegas, all
That's
30% of Southern Nevada under my jurisdiction.
Go and buy No Segways too. Let's get
please.
that out.
Oh my goodness. Are you the best? I mean, the two of you, you two are fuck.
We should have those jobs.
You are the Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores. We don't even need 4 heads, just 2 heads each for you guys. 2 Candies, 2 Steves. Fuck everyone else. That's what we need. This has been a treat.
It's been so good to see you. We miss you very, very much. I'm used to seeing you at least a few times a week, so this, really stinks. So
this is wonderful. If we stay on after the recording, I will tell you the name and I'll also tell you a weird text I got.
All right. I'm gonna hit pause and stop. Thank you, everybody.
Guys, thanks for listening.